The Shame Report with Dave Damashek reporting.
Damashek here, and in case you haven't noticed, I brought the playoffs with me. When we started back in September, there were 32 teams. Now just 8 remain. To all the rest, I say, shame, shame, shame. Just remember, players and coaches, don't get angry at me if I call your name. Ultimately, I didn't put you on this list. You put you on this list. Let it begin! At number 5, Ray Lewis. Boy, it was a storybook farewell for the Prince of Charm City. Although I'm not sure what the deal with the block of dirt's about. But between the face mask and now the arm thing, Ray has officially become more machine than man. He's like Darth Vader in Star Wars, the musical. Look, he's leaking transmission fluid. Yuck! Shame! At number 4, the Chicago Bears, for interviewing roughly 800,000 guys for their head coaching vacancy. Look, I understand being thorough, but if you interview everyone, you interview no one. You know what I'm talking about? It's like a single fella going on The Bachelor, but The Bachelor is the Chicago Bear. You know, actually, come to think of it now, that's a version I would actually watch. The Bear Chiller? Never mind. Next. At number 3, a Shame Files investigation. It wasn't a very good week for Andy Dalton or Joe Webb, but I suspect they were doomed before ever taking a snap. You see, the number 13 may be unlucky, but in the NFL and sports in general, the number 14 seems downright cursed. Ken Anderson lost a Super Bowl in it. So did Steve Grogan and Craig Morton, and Neil O'Donnell threw away a Super Bowl in it. Otto Graham won 2 titles in the number 14, but 5 in the number 60. NBA legend Oscar Robertson won a title wearing number 1, but 0 in number 14. Y.A. Tittle never won a title. Neither did Dan Fouts. He did get a gold jacket, but he didn't get to wear the number 14 in a Super Bowl.
Get the hell out of here.
Sorry, Dan, it's true. But don't worry, you're not alone. Baseball Hall of Famer Mr. Cub Ernie Banks never got to a World Series. Red Sox Hall of Famer Jim Rice did, but he got mookied in '86. And the hit king Pete Rose, he isn't even in the Hall of Fame. 14's cursed, I tell you. Brad Johnson won the numbers only Lombardi in '03, but he's the exception that proves the rule. Fact is, legends like Mantle, Elway, Roethlisberger, and Esposito wore 7. You know who wore number 14? Richard Todd, Brian Greasy, Lima Swede, and Jim Druckenmiller. So chin up, Dalton and Webb. It's not you, it's the digits. And remember, Vinny Testaverde had a good career after he got rid of the number 14. Wonder if he had to go into the red shed for that. At number 2, the 49ers, for signing kicker Billy Cundiff. You remember last January when you guys lost in the title game because of Kyle Williams' knee? Yeah, well, same day, over on the other coast, the Ravens lost in the other title game because of Cundiff's toe. If this is the direction you want to go, I hear Lee Evans and his hands are available too. Shame on all of you. Now it's time for some fantasy redemption. Sign up for NFL.com's playoff challenge, and you can go from fantasy shame to fantasy redemption. Or if you make bad decisions, your shame will continue. Like this guy who expected Adrian Peterson to ravage the Packers again. Join the conversation throughout the playoffs by using the hashtag fantasy redemption. You could have a chance to make the shame report. And that brings me to number 1 and the brown paper bag of shame, which this week goes to Redskins head coach Mike Shanahan. Now, look, I don't want to pile on. I understand leaving RG3 in there, but the idea that RG3 convinced you he should stay in the game is not an acceptable explanation. It's not up to him. Of course he wanted to be in there, but you know what? He's not a doctor. You see, you can spell MD without R, G, or 3. Hey, Coach Shanny, at the very least, you're better than Chip Kelly, that lame duck playing games with the hearts and minds of NFL teams. Not cool there, Chip. You know what? Maybe you deserve this even more. It's the brown paper bag of shame. At the very least, you can cover up those hideous get-ups your team wears. Till next time, try not to embarrass yourselves.
Shame.